FM, also streaming from that SuperTalk Mississippi app and your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station. But don't forget, you can watch us. We are on your computer, your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. If you've listened to Good Things long enough, you know we encourage you to watch your local theater. But did you know that all your high schools have theater programs as well? And they compete with them. I didn't know that. Joining us today is Northwest Rankin Theater, and they are headed to a national competition. We've got Juniper Wallace, the director of the theater program, with us. We've got Noah Davidson and Emily Ingram, both students and what do you call it? Actors. I was like, what do you call them in the program? So welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
All right, Juniper, I'm going to start with you. Kind of talk about the program there at Northwest Rankin. When do kids get the opportunity to start theater or introduced to it, and kind of how does it all work?
Absolutely. So first of all, we are blessed to have a theater middle school program as well. And so in middle school, starting in the 6th grade, students actually are able to take theater for 3 years in the middle school, and then when they come to us, they have a choice of classes that they can take. They can either take the general theater classes, but the class that they're in is called a theater production class, and it's audition only, or audition into, and so the students are very focused, and we do different levels of competition as well as focus on their own personal portfolios.
So Noah, when did you first get interested into theater?
This was like beginning of pandemic. My 8th grade year, I auditioned for competition theater like virtually because school was still hybrid at that time, and that just really was what got me into this like production loop. I've been doing theater all 4 years of high school, and it's just been really fun. So
Emily, how about for you?
I started doing theater when I was really young, like community theater.
Okay.
But then in middle school, after COVID, I got introduced to competition theater, and I just loved it so much, and I've been doing it ever since.
I just don't feel like, Juniper, I'm the only one that's first hearing that you can compete in this. So how does that work? I get show choir. I get is it very similar where you put together, you have your production, and then you go and do it in front of judges, and then you get, is it
and
very...
you get feedback.
And you
yeah.
get feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have what's called the one-act circuit. So the Mississippi Theater Association has a one-act festival that we do regionals for North and South Mississippi, and then the top 5 from each region then advance to the Mississippi Theater Association State Festival. And so we have 10 shows at the State Festival. But it's not just for one acts. You also have the opportunity to do individual events. And so our students compete in monologues and songs and scenes. And they also, our technical students also bring their design work as well.
So Noah, when you switched over to maybe the competitive route with theater, was there more pressure? Like, did it feel different than just normal, learning your lines and doing a production for an audience?
I think it's a lot more immersive, and it is a lot more like stake heavy, but at the same time you develop such a strong sense of community with the other people, and it's like, these are my best friends, I love working with them, and just, yeah, I feel like it's very nerve-wracking at first when you're first getting into things, or like when you're first auditioning for the school year, but like after a little bit you get into the swing of things. It's like, this is just really rewarding, and yeah.
So Emily, what title did y'all take to compete with? What did y'all do?
This year we got to take the Velveteen Rabbit to competition, and it was really fun because it is such a beloved children's story, and we really got to become the characters and play, and we got to pretend like we were little children playing with these toys on stage, and we really got to be involved, and sometimes it just felt like I was playing with my friends.
Do y'all get say, Emily, and what y'all choose, or does Miss Juniper and the others come up with that?
Well, Miss Wallace and Miss Ray spend a lot of time reading a lot of different plays, and they'll bring ideas to us and speak to us about it, and they'll also hear what we want to do in the future. And they always have us read because each play and each ensemble is like almost like a relationship, like it has to work. And so we always do a couple read-throughs to make sure it blends, and then after that we do, what do we think of it, what will we change, what do we like, what we don't like. So it's very much a communal decision.
And two, do you remember, like, you have your actors and your actresses and all the things, but you also have to do your stage, you have to do your costume, you have to do all of that. So are there people behind the scenes that's helping, or do the actors also like double as play sets and all of that kind of part there in Northwest?
The answer is yes.
All of
It is. So we have students that are technicians as well, and so but also our performers work very hard to pitch in and to help build as well. And the neat thing about our show this year is that the performers actually become a lot of the set pieces. Our show is very minimalist, and so we have one piece that's on stage the whole time, and then the performers actually use props and different things in their bodies to create all of the different locations.
Noah, what do you do for stage fright? I know everybody has their own rituals. Do y'all like collectively have like some routines that y'all go through prior?
Our biggest is just our warm-ups. We do a bunch of wacky warm-ups before our show, and we also have a few rituals that we do before stage. It sounds very cultish.
No,
I'm
I
not
get
too
like
sure if it isn't a cult, but we all have a lot of fun, and it really just brings us together, putting us in the right headspace to perform. I don't think I get bad stage fright. I think I don't know. I do get a little like jittery before, and I just kind of like sit in a corner for a little bit. But I think it's just like trusting others and trusting yourself that you're going to do great.
Now this is your senior year. So, and you're getting this opportunity to go on and compete at sort of a national level. Are we soaking it all in? Are we taking it all?
Like in the moment, it doesn't really dawn on me, but then after we perform, it's like, oh my gosh, we just did that. This is like my last show, basically. It's not really, but it's like, oh my gosh, we just did that. And it just never really hits me in the moment until like afterwards, and we're all just kind of debriefing a little bit. So.
Soak it all in, because you'll be 40 one day looking back on this. But the cool thing, I think, with theater, though, Emily, you mentioned you got started young in your community. Here on Good Things, man, we've had a lot of great community theaters come on and talk about the different work that they're doing, from Brookhaven to Brandon to all around. So is it something you'll continue to do even after, I know you have one more year, but graduate?
I really do think so. I just found such a love for it. I always say theater will be my first love, because there's just something exhilarating about being on stage and being able to share this passion I have and make so many other people feel joy from something that I feel joy doing. So it's not something I get exhausted from, but I get to bring light and happiness to so many people who watch our shows.
So, Juniper, this is a competition. So you guys are here because y'all are going to that next level.
We are.
So what's next?
So what's next is the Southeastern Theater Conference, which is held in Baltimore, Maryland this year. So we have quite the ways to travel. We're really excited. That will be March 18th through the 23rd. But before that, we're actually going to do a showcase performance on March the 3rd, which is a Monday, at the Northwest Rankin Middle School Performing Arts Building.
And that's to help raise the funds to help send you guys. How many in total will be traveling?
We have 35 total, and that includes our 28 students and our 2 directors, and then my husband drives the trailer. But he's also a teacher as well.
Voluntold?
He is definitely voluntold. He loves to do it. And then we also have a great group of parents that travels with us.
Do most districts in Mississippi have the theater competing option? I feel like you guys are unique to that, or I haven't heard of it yet, but that doesn't mean anything. I just now have a middle schooler, so...
Well, we have, I would say probably about, I guess all told, probably about 50 schools in Mississippi that compete with theater at the different circuits. We have Mississippi Theater Association, and then we also have Mississippi Thespians, and both of those are competitive tracks. And then there's countless other schools that also have programs that don't compete.
What else can people do to help y'all get there? I know if we can't make it, Good Things has listeners all over the state. If someone feels compelled to maybe help you guys, is there another way to help?
Absolutely. So if you're in the Jackson area, we have an event coming up on Sunday the 23rd, which is at Top Golf. And so people can buy tickets to come and play Top Golf from 1 to 3. But also we have a direct fundraising campaign through 99 pledges. And so all of the donations that come through there go directly to our students for travel.
If someone came out Monday, March 3rd, how long does the play last?
Well, we're actually doing 2 shows. They're both about 45 minutes. It starts at 6:30 p.m., so we'll be done by 8:30 easily.
All right. Well, you guys stick with us. We've got more with Noah and Emily and Juniper coming up next. But don't forget to watch us, which you can do easily on your computer or your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV and catch a show too. Go out and watch that in your community theater, or if your high schools are putting one out, like Northwest Rankin's Theater, they are headed to a national competition. They'll be giving 2 shows on Monday the 3rd for 45 minutes. What time are they, Jennifer?
It starts at 6:30. We have our 9th and 10th grade class, theater production class, will be doing The Distracted Scholar's Guide to Literature and Drama. It is very funny and very fast-paced, and we'll take a short intermission, and then immediately following, we have our other theater production class doing The Velveteen Rabbit.
Okay, so Noah, this is your senior year. You have got a couple years under your belt, but I've got, well, she's 7th grade now. She would be terrified to do theater. So, like, for the shy kid who, maybe they have their own personality at home in safe spaces, but they kind of clam up out. What's your encouragement for parents to get their kids onto a stage?
I will say I am a complete introvert outside of theater.
No.
I promise I am. And it really is about finding the people that you're comfortable with. And I think theater has just really given me the opportunity to just be myself around people. And even if you aren't the biggest person, like if you don't like being on stage that much, there's always opportunities to participate in theater otherwise. You can be like a technician. There's so many opportunities that tech opens up to you. And even if you aren't directly into the production class, you can also participate. You also help out in just the regular theater classes. But I just think theater is just a great opportunity and experience to have. And it's just kind of just
I don't think parents should sleep on it. I think it's something that, obviously there's, not every kid's going to be the star athlete. Not every kid's going to be in the band. Not every kid's going to want to dance or do all the other things. But there's so many other ways that kids can get involved with groups and have, great camaraderie, competition, and these sort of lifelong lessons. But Emily, learning the lines. Also, I'm thinking about my 7th grader. Dear Lord, I don't even know if she knows her own email address yet. So, what are the tricks to, you guys keeping up with the lines part?
It really, at some point, becomes second nature, and it seems like such a hassle at first, but then you just start having conversation and talking, and then you don't even know your own lines until someone says something that triggers the thought, and you know your line. But writing them down and then just having someone just constantly go over it with you really does help. Repetition is the best key to memorizing. It's also taught me how to study for other classes, just having people read, because I've learned to learn my lines by hearing other people say stuff. So it's very just much a call and response, and then it becomes a true conversation on stage.
Ms. Juniper, if folks are listening, would they just ask their school if they have this opportunity, or would kids know if it came out that they had theater as an option? Is it going to be a elective? How would parents see it or kids see it?
So most of the time it's offered as an elective, and I know in the Rankin County District, the course options are sent home a couple of weeks beforehand, and they have short descriptions and whatnot, and then we also have an opportunity to kind of go in and talk to the younger grades about what is available to them so that they know what options they have moving up.
So Noah, what is your hallmark? If you could be in any play or production, what is it going to be?
I have so many of these.
Okay,
I'm
just
so sorry.
then pick one or two.
Okay.
That would be your favorite. Just first thing that came to mind.
I will say, I'm in one of my dream roles right now. We are doing Hadestown in the spring, and I've been cast as Orpheus, and Orpheus is one of like those roles that is like dear to my heart, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And between that, I think this one's a little out there, but I would love to play the MC in Cabaret in someday. Not recent, like not in the near future, but like someday.
We gotta get you over 21.
Exactly.
So Emily, what about you?
I just love numbers that are like huge ensemble numbers because ensemble is my favorite role. But I think I would love to play Paulette in Legally Blonde because Legally Blonde has always been my favorite show, movie, anything about it. I just love Legally Blonde. And so Paulette would be such a fun role. And her songs in the musical are so amazing.
So you have to sing too if you're in theater? No, you're in show choir.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, that's a whole nother level.
You don't have to sing. You don't have to be a good singer either.
You don't have to be a good singer either. You need to show up and sort of enjoy it, but also support the kids that are doing the work too in their communities. What is it? Again, remind us real quick. Where can we go for the information on Monday?
Go to nwrthespians.ludus.com, and that will put you into our ticket buying space, and you can just click into there's literally going to be pictures that you can click into.
Perfect. All right, we'll break a leg, ladies.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
All right, you guys stick with this. You got Sports Talk coming up next from 3 to 6, but Rhino and I will meet you back here tomorrow at 2. But until then, I hope you all find time for the good things.